In this episode of Moi TV, I'm focusing in on what you can expect to happen at a headshot session shoot. If you've got a session coming up and you're feeling a little bit unsure about what's going to happen on shoot day, then this is the episode for you. Broken down into 5 easy to remember points. Before we get into that, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you hit the bell, you'll be notified every single Friday when a new episode drops. I'm Laura Pearman, this is Moi TV, and this is where you can learn all about headshots, ideas, and inspiration. I focus in on all of the technical stuff, self-confidence, as well as selfies. Here you can see a bunch of different headshots results with my real life headshots clients, as well as bone up on all the technical stuff that goes on behind the scenes. If you have a headshot session coming up on your schedule and you're a little bit nervous about what to expect that's going to happen on shoot day, or you're so nervous by the thought of this that you keep procrastinating and you know you need to get your headshots booked in, but you're just really scared about what it feels like to be on a professional photo shoot, then this, my dear, is the episode for you. Today, I'm covering the 5 things that you can expect to happen at every single headshots photo shoot. When you pay attention to all 5 of these things, you're going to be able to take control and significantly improve the results of your headshots. This will avoid any nerves and expenditure on having to do a reshoot, and you're going to feel a lot more in control because you know what's coming. I've had my own headshots photography business now for 8 years. At the time of recording this episode, I photographed 388 different clients since setting up my own business. I guess if you calculate all of the times where I was photographing full time in other studios before I struck out on my own, I've probably done about 600-ish photo shoots professionally. So I've condensed all of the knowledge and experience from those sessions down into this episode today, and I've managed to boil it down into the 5 things we're going to cover now. Just looked it up. 600 hours is like 25 full days and nights. That's a lot of pictures. Now, before we go through these 5 things, there's a little bit of a caveat, and that caveat is all about pre-shoot planning. So by this point in the process, all of your pre-shoot planning should be done and just about dusted. You're gonna know that when you arrive on your shoot day, everything has been organized. So you're going to have a rough idea of how things should be playing out when you get there. Examples are, you know how many outfits you need to bring because it's been planned. You've got a rough idea of where it is that you're shooting. If you're in a studio, if you're going on location, your photographer's given you a rough overview of where you're going to be going. And all of this preparation information should have been delivered to you in the last couple of weeks prior to shoot day. So if you're watching this video and it's the night before your headshot session and none of that's been done, I want you to pause this video, pick up your phone and ring your photographer and ask them what the hell is going on tomorrow. I've done some episodes on pre-shoot planning. There's a link up here now, and I'm going to put a link in the show notes so that you can go back and take a look. Number 1 is arrival times. Confusing photographer lingo such as call time can be pretty misleading. Here's what you need to know. The call time is the time that your photographer is planning on starting the photo shoot. So before that, they're going to be setting up equipment, testing equipment, balancing lights. So you should be getting ready in hair and makeup and outfits so that you're ready to go at the call time. This means that you're probably going to need to be where you're doing your shoot at least a couple of hours before the call time on the schedule. Now, the timing with this obviously all rests on the type of service that you've bought. For instance, are you working with a professional stylist who's going to be helping you get your outfits ready and getting you dressed? And have you ordered for there to be a professional hair and makeup artist who's also going to help get you ready and maybe change your looks throughout the photo shoot? As a really quick rule of thumb, most professional hair and makeup artists need about 2 hours to get you ready for hair and makeup. And all the great stylists that I've worked with can work in tandem with a hair and makeup person to help plan out outfits. But there's a very good chance that they're going to want to have a little bit of a chat with you one-on-one prior to the call time to just run through the outfits, double check everything, make sure that everything is ready to go when it comes to what you're wearing. Comment below right now and tell me what photographer lingo has always got you really confused. I'm planning an episode on this, so I'd love to know what I can help you with specifically. I'll crack the code for you. Number 2 is posing. There's a very strong chance that if you don't know me personally, you don't know this about me. So from the age of 3 till about 15, I was a dancer. So I used to go to rehearsals like twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. I did exams, tap, ballet, jazz, and a little bit of character as well. And this has helped me enormously as a professional photographer. One of the things that my clients love about working with me is the way that I give them posing direction. It's really important to me that you have fun when you shoot with me. So this is the way that I work. Usually I will show the client or the subject, whatever you want to refer to them as, the way that I want them to do the thing that I'm trying to direct them to do. But I do it myself first in a really exaggerated, over-the-top way to make them feel at ease. If that feels like the kind of coaching direction that you would probably need to help make you feel at ease and also make you sure about what it is you're doing when you're posing in front of the camera, then you should absolutely work with a headshots photographer like me or someone who has a similar approach to me when it comes to creative direction. But it's important that you remember this. Not all photographers have the same approach to direction. It would be very common, for instance, to expect a headshots photographer that has a fashion background or who still works in the fashion industry to give you next to no creative direction on a photo shoot. That's because they are used to working with professional models who show up and can do a variety of poses in one go almost. It's very fluid when you watch a professional model pose, and they know what to do with their body because they are trained, so they don't need any direction. The photographer can just worry about capturing the exact decisive moment on a session. Now, if you are somebody who works with your body a lot and you consider yourself to be quite physical, you might actually prefer working with a headshots photographer like this who gives you minimal direction. You might have a very clear idea of how you want your body to look and you want to just be left alone to do what you need to do. I'm thinking of people in certain parts of the fitness industry, dancers, that kind of thing. I have a top tip for you right now when it comes to posing, and my top tip is speak up on your photo shoot. Now, it's normal to feel a bit nervous and a little bit out of your comfort zone when you're on a photo shoot, but if you find that you're halfway through a session or it's been more than half an hour and you still really feel awkward and really not at ease or comfortable about what's happening, it's better that you tell your photographer this. Any good professional photographer has been trained to continually check with you about how you're feeling. It's important to them that they know your nerves have started to settle down. So be honest. If you feel like it's not working, you can say something like, I really don't feel like me right now. I'm really frightened that this isn't working. Or another good tactic is to ask your photographer to show you the types of images that are coming out on the back of the camera. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a quick thumbs up. Why not share a link to this with your biz bestie who you know is pretty nervous about the headshot session they have coming up soon. Number 3 is rinse and repeat. Repetition. You should 100% expect a whole lot of repetition on your headshot session. Once the photographer is getting the feeling and the sense that you're into the groove and those nerves have settled down and they're starting to see the real essence of you, they're going to want to make sure that you feel as confident as possible. And it's really important for the photographer that they get as many varieties of the same shot for you when it comes to looking at the frames. So an example of this is you might have been in a situation where you have, say, a full body crop and you're pointing at a wall or something, and then you realize 3 months later that it would have been so much better if that image had been shot in a landscape, because you really need a panoramic crop or a parallax crop to go on your homepage. A good headshots photographer will have known to shoot every single variation of every outfit and every place so that when you call them in that desperate mess, needing that parallax image, they have it. So there's a repetition of posing over and over again in all of the different outfits you might be wearing and all of the different places you're going, increases your confidence so that you can really give it some when you're doing those poses, but it also makes for a lot more options later when you're in post-production. Number 4, music and sound. I absolutely love to work with music on in the background. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. This is so true as well when I'm on a photo shoot. It's really important for me to get a little bit of a soundscape in mind of how we want the mood of the photo shoot to go. So if it's a very natural person, for instance, I've worked with a couple of intuition coaches over the years, it's really important that there is no music, but we're out in nature. So there's the sounds of nature around us. That could be the waves crashing on the beach. It could be birds in the trees of a forest, but there are still sounds and we're very calm and quiet because we want to bring out that mood in the photo shoot. Now, if you're a little bit nervous about how you want your photo shoot to go down, why don't you just compile a playlist of all of the songs you absolutely love to get ready to, the songs that you play before, I don't know, any other nerve-wracking moment, maybe before you go on stage to do a talk, maybe before you go out on a date. It's totally up to you, but it would be normal for you to rock up to a photo shoot and say to your photographer, hey, I put together this playlist, can we have this on in the background? Number 5 is your energy levels. You should absolutely expect to have some very weird changes happen to you in your energy levels the days around your photo shoot. I always tell all of my clients to not plan anything big or particularly strenuous straight after a headshot session. Doesn't matter how long the session is, 30 minutes or 8 hours. I always say try and have a light day after shoot has wrapped. So if you think about it in this way, you have the anticipation and all of those excitement nerves building up before your photo shoot happens. This can happen a week before, a month before, or just in the hours leading up to the session itself. Then when it's actually happening, your endorphins will be soaring around your body and you're going to have a real rush of adrenaline. You're going to be riding this endorphin wave for at least a couple of hours after your photo shoot has wrapped. So you might come away from your session feeling like you can win the day and conquer the world, but what happens after about 1 or 2 hours following a wrap is you crash. Anyone on a photo shoot crew will have expected this to happen. You know, you can try and elongate it out with caffeine and sugar, but you still will feel a dip in your energy. Why don't you plan ahead now to make sure you have a lovely bubble bath waiting for you at home, you can get an early night, and you have a delicious dinner waiting for you when you're back from your session.